G'day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So I haven't done what's in my backpack style video in quite some time, so I thought I'd do one today. We're going to go over everything I bring with me typically when I'm going out to fly drones, film YouTube videos, and that's going to include the backpack that I use as well. This here has been my go-to backpack for almost 2 years now. I bought it late summer, mid-summer of 2021, and the nice thing about this backpack is that it's cheap. We all know that backpacks can get very expensive, but this one here is actually quite affordable. And I actually own quite a few backpacks, ones that I've purchased over the years, ones that have been sent to me. Some of those backpacks are very expensive and from big brand names such as Manfrotto, Peak Design, Low Pro, but yet I always find myself going back to this backpack here. And this one you can pick up, I think roughly you can get it for about $70 Canadian. If you're in the US, it's anywhere from $50 to $60. It kind of fluctuates in price, but it's actually a pretty good backpack for that price range. And I'm going to go over why I think this is a really good backpack and why it works well for me. And then we're going to take a look inside of it and see what all I carry when I'm out typically flying drones. So start off, this is by, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Mosiso. I'm not even quite sure. Really, it's kind of a small brand, nothing fancy with it. But what I do like about it and why I really like this backpack, first of all, it's just a nice size. It's not too big, not too small. And that can be pretty important. You want a backpack that is going to be able to fit everything you need, not be too bulky, not too small, and something that is comfortable to wear if you're going to be hiking into location, because you might have to wear this for an hour or two at a time while you're hiking in. So it's just a really good size. It does have a hard surface top here. It does offer a little bit of crush protection, but it is a soft backpack, so it's not going to be, offer superior crush protection. But having that hard top does help protect the gear inside just a little bit. The other thing I like about it is that it's a square-styled backpack. And for me, I usually find them a little bit more efficient when it comes to packing compared to backpacks that have more of a tapered or rounded front. You get a lot of wasted space. The other thing is that there's just one interior. For me, again, I don't like backpacks that have two different compartments. Sometimes, they'll have a compartment that opens up and then just a zippered bag at the top. Again, for me, I find that wastes a lot of space. I like to be able to open up my backpack and see everything inside. And that's the next reason, is that it has one zipper all along the front here, so you can open it up and get a good view of all your equipment. When you take a look at the sides of it here, it's kind of like a rubbery material, so it does offer a little bit of water moisture protection. And of course, it's very durable. We have a pocket on the side here that you can put a water bottle in or whatever. Usually that's where I carry my GoPro Max grip. It just fits in there nicely. If we flip it over here, we'll take a look at the back. Must apologize, there's a lot of sand on it. I had this at the beach last fall, and apparently there's still a lot of sand in there. We have a strap here, so we'll go over luggage. So if you're rolling around some luggage, you can strap it to it. And there's a pocket back here. I don't use it for anything, but you can put some sensitive documents in there, if you are traveling. Your plane tickets, train tickets, passport, whatever you need. Now on the other side here, they actually have a tripod holder. So we have a strap up here to hold in the tripod, and this part here flips out. And as you can see, you can put a leg of a tripod down in there. And again, it has a little pocket in there for little parts. The only thing I use that for is for holding a tripod if I bring a tripod with me. And then lastly, there is a laptop compartment in the back here, as you can see. Now, I don't bring a laptop or an iPad with me when I'm out flying drones, but typically I'll just put my landing pad in there. Or if I have anything long, extension poles or anything like that, I'll just slip them back in the back there. Then, of course, at the top here, we do have a handle for carrying. Now, as mentioned, I've used this backpack for almost 2 years now, and it's held up really well. I've used it a lot. Last summer, I was out almost every day flying with it, and yeah, it's held up really well. It's in good shape still. So let's go ahead here. We're going to open it up, and we'll take a look at everything I usually bring with me when I'm out flying. Now, when we open it up here, you'll see this is what I really like about this style of backpack. When I'm flying, I like to open up my backpack and see everything that I have. I don't like to have to go into too many different compartments, look in the top, look in the side. I just want to open it up and have all my gear ready for me. Now, we're going to start at the top here. This backpack has two compartments. It has a see-through compartment and then another compartment at the top here. And one nice thing that they've done here, a lot of little features with this backpack, is you can see that the zippers tuck inside this little protective cover there. And that's just so it doesn't scratch equipment that you have loaded in there. So a nice little touch. This top compartment, I just carry spare propellers. I have propellers for the Mini 3, for the Mavic 3. So usually I just keep my spare propellers in the top there. Now in this next pouch here is kind of a catch-all. I just put a lot of random stuff in there. This is where I carry spare sticks, because nothing worse than getting out to location and you end up losing one of your sticks. So I usually have spare sticks for all the controllers in here. Here I have a USB-C to USB-C cable. Now as you can see here, I do have a lavalier. This is by Rode. Most of the time when I'm filming, because I do a lot of filming for YouTube when I'm out flying, I'll use the DJI wireless microphone system. But I do like to have a lavalier with me because sometimes I'll plug that into the DJI wireless microphone, but sometimes I'll plug this directly into my smartphone or my GoPro, and it has both connections here. I have it lightning for my iPhone, where I can put this adapter on and then plug it directly into the GoPro. So it's something I usually have with me. Another set of sticks there. I have the screwdriver for changing the propellers for the Avata. Never had to use it out in the field. And then I have both the wide angle lens for the Mavic 3 and the Mini 3 there as well. I don't really use these a lot, but I like to bring them with me, and just so the fact that I don't lose them because they are a fairly small case. I don't have any ND filters in there right now, but I usually tend to carry some ND filters in there for the different drones that I'll be flying. Of course, some spare memory because, you know, it's always good to have spare memory with you. And then another lightning cable there. So that's everything I keep up in that clear pouch there. Of course, that will change depending on what I'm doing. So let's start dissecting what I have inside the bag here. The first thing you can see that I have at the top here, this is by Tellison. I've already done a full video of this. If you're a regular to my channel, you'll know most of my videos are filmed from a point of view perspective. So this allows me to mount my GoPro, my Action 2, even a smartphone, and do whatever filming I need to do. And then I can attach my microphone or the lavalier directly in. Now I don't use this every time I go out and fly. Sometimes I'm just out flying for pleasure, but I always bring it with me in case there is something that I do want to film for my channel. Now the next item here is the DJI Avada. I don't go anywhere without my Avata anymore. This has become my all-time favorite drone, and when I'm heading out to fly, I always have this with me. I may bring another drone with me, like I've got the Mavic 3 in here, but I always bring the Avata as well, because most likely I'm going to be flying it as well. So that is a definite permanent fixture in my backpack now. Now underneath that, I have the motion controller for the DJI Avata. Now typically when I'm flying the Avata, I use the DJI FPV controller, but I do like to have the motion controller with me just because sometimes it is fun to fly with it. So that's usually in there, just tucked underneath. As mentioned, I do have the DJI FPV controller too, as this is typically how I do fly the Avata. As mentioned, I always carry the DJI microphone system, because if I do need to record anything for YouTube or other social media, I always have good audio available to me. I can connect this to my GoPro, to my action cameras, directly to my smartphone, so it's a very versatile microphone system. So moving along here, I usually bring some form of action camera. Sometimes it's the Action 2, as we can see here. And sometimes it's a GoPro. Just really depends what kind of mood I'm in and what I'm going to be filming that day. And then of course there's spare batteries. You can see in here right now, I have 2 batteries for the Avata, and I have 2 batteries for the Mavic 3. And again, this will change depending on what drones I have with me or what my primary focus is. If I just plan on flying the Avata that day, I may not bring any Mavic batteries with me, but I'll bring more Avata batteries. I have 5 total, so usually I'll have 1 in the drone and then 4 spares. Then of course, to fly the Avata, we need goggles, so I do keep the goggles version 2 in that front compartment. They fit in there quite well. And over here, you can see I have the Mavic 3. Again, this is going to be different. Sometimes I have the Air 2S in there or one of the mini drones. But this backpack still fits the larger Mavic 3 quite nicely. And then I just have this flap over top just to give it a little bit of protection. But as you can see, it does fit in there nicely. And then lastly, I have my main controller for either the Mavic 3 or perhaps the DJI RC for the Mini 3. But I'll have some form of controller in that compartment up top there. Now, another thing I actually really like about this backpack that's different than typical backpacks. First of all, we can see it has customizable dividers, which a lot of backpacks do have. So you can gear it to what suits you the best, depending on what equipment you have. But what I do like is that the bottoms of these dividers are not held in with Velcro to the bottom of the backpack. Most backpacks, they have Velcro on the sides, but also Velcro on the bottom. And that puts everything in there in a specific fashion and they don't move around. Now with this backpack, it doesn't do that. This whole interior can slide around. And I like that because if you have to change things up and mush things in there, you can see that it's very malleable and you can really move things around as needed. Now, some people may not like that, but for me, it's kind of a bonus. Now, I should point this out here. I can't remember if these came with the backpack. These are just Velcro strips that I have in there, and I don't think they came with this backpack. I think I have them from another backpack, but I usually carry them in there because sometimes you need them just to strap something in. so I usually just leave them in there. So yeah, that's what I usually typically carry in my backpack when I'm out flying for pleasure or filming for YouTube. When it comes to filming for YouTube, I'm pretty minimalistic. I like to keep things simple. I use typically my smartphone and a GoPro, and that's about it. And of course, whatever drone I'm flying that day. Well, folks, hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It's always greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.